Hey guys, I noticed when I was reviewing your files for the program year 2021 that you had the incorrect dwelling height on a couple of your ASHRAE calculations. So this is just a quick video to review what the requirements are there, make sure that you guys clearly understand how to determine the dwelling height. So if you go to the calculator and hover over that box, then some directions or an explanation pops up, and this is what it says. It says dwelling height is the vertical distance between the lowest and highest above grade points within the dwelling pressure boundary. The height should include the above grade part of a basement if the basement is within the pressure boundary. And then it says do not include an attic if it is not within the pressure boundary. So let me just show you the two houses where there were errors, and let's talk about those errors. I think that'll clear up what that's talking about. So the first one is this house here, and the dwelling height was listed at 8 feet. Now, if we want to really get semantical, if this had been a dwelling with a flat ceiling, then the dwelling height should have been listed at 9 or 9.5 feet, because the highest above, or sorry, the lowest above grade point would be here at the dirt. And since you can see about 6 or 8 inches of foundation, then on top of that you would have about a foot for the floor, and then you'd have an 8-foot wall. So we'd have 8 plus 9 plus 6 or 8 inches. So really your dwelling height on this should be about 9.5. I wouldn't really have too much heartburn if it was 8 feet in this case, but if you want to be more exact, more precise, 9 or 9.5 would be more accurate. But this one was incorrect because it had vaulted ceilings. So let's see, here's my sketch of this house, and you can see that from the side, this is actually a sketch of the pressure boundary. The trusses, they went up even higher, like right up here, you know, something like that. But basically, since the dirt on this one, or the lowest above grade point would be somewhere here, and then the highest above grade point would actually be right here at the top of your vault. So you should, the total height on this should have been something more like 14, it looks like 14'3", somewhere in there. So that was one of them. This was the other one. On this one, the auditor listed the dwelling height as being 10 feet tall. And on the audit, you can see that, so this house, pretty much a box. It does not have vaulted ceilings. So, you know, we would have 8-foot tall walls there. And then the auditor did list there being like some pony walls on top of the foundation as being at least 2 feet tall. When I look at the foundation, I could see that they listed the, you know, the wall height as being 10 feet tall, and then they listed the foundation wall height as being 6 feet tall, and you can see that that's fairly accurate when you're looking at the way the house is put together from the outside. But that only accounts for basically from right here down to right here. And since that basement is part of the pressure boundary being like the conditioned space usually, right? Since our pressure boundary goes all the way down to the basement floor, then now we're looking at the highest above grade, or sorry, the lowest above grade point and the highest above grade point. So the lowest above grade point would actually be probably right back here in the backyard. You can see that becomes the lowest spot right back here. And so we need to know the distance from here up to here. So again, if we had an 8-foot wall there, we got another foot for the floor, so we're 9 feet, plus 2 feet of pony wall there. So now we're at 11 feet, and then it looks like we have 3 or 4 more feet exposed of foundation. So we need to measure from here all the way down to here, and that would be our dwelling height. So, you know, somewhere around 14 or 15 feet would be our dwelling height on this one. I know, so the whole point of the dwelling height on ASHRAE is to allow for stack effect. And I know a lot of times you'll look at these and you'll go, well, that foundation's pretty airtight. Shouldn't we just measure from right here up? No, the standard is that we measure the lowest above grade point to the highest above grade point in the pressure boundary. If this had a vaulted roof or a vaulted ceiling in it, then we would be measuring from the lowest point that we've found out here, and then we'd measure up to wherever the highest point on that vaulted ceiling was. But that's the standard is set that way because not every house is created equal. Some homes would be very, very tight, and you wouldn't find any air leakage down here, and so maybe it wouldn't really affect stack effect. But since all homes are not created equal and we need a standard, that is the way the standard was established. Just it's based on the pressure boundary and the lowest grading point outside. So if you guys have any more questions on that, please let me know. Hopefully this helps clear things up a little bit.